Today we'll be sharing some of our top picks for dining locations in each park. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to Disney podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, May 26th, and you're listening to episode 37, Must-Try Restaurants in Walt Disney World. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. It was a slower news week this week, considering all the news that has been dropping recently. The new drone show at Disney Springs named Disney Dreams That Soar had its first show on May 24th, which was Friday. It will have 2 shows nightly at 9 and 10:45 through September 2nd. Initial videos and reactions coming from social media are very positive, and from everything we've seen, it looks phenomenal. We find it so impressive what these drones can do. If you're in Disney this summer, make sure to catch this limited time show. Disney Imagineering shared a look at the refreshed animatronics for Country Bear Jamboree over in Magic Kingdom. Disney Imagineering shared some behind-the-scenes looks at how they make the animatronics come to life and how their wardrobes are designed and installed. You can check these out on the Disney Imagineering social pages and YouTube channel. Country Bear Jamboree is set to reopen with its refresh later this summer. Over in California at Disneyland, Fantasmic finally made its return after a long hiatus since the Maleficent mishap of 2023 where the dragon caught fire. It finally made its return on Friday, May 24th. It features new scenes and additions with updated effects. Dining packages have returned, and there will be 2 shows at both 9 and 10:30. Rock and Roller Coaster has been closed since January and was set to reopen sometime this summer. No official announcement has been made yet, but it is no longer listed on the refurbishment calendar later in July. This could point to a July opening, which would make sense. We'll keep our ears to the ground for official word from Disney. If you're headed to the park soon, hopefully it will be open for your trip. With that said, let's get into today's main topic. We talk about dining on the podcast here quite a bit, and here and there, but it's been a minute since we've had a dedicated episode. So today we'll be sharing our top 3 restaurants in each park and sharing some tips and other best practices along the way. If it seems like we're leaving out some big names, that's because we're simply covering the parks in today's episode, not the resorts or Disney Springs. Before we get into our top picks, here's a few things to keep in mind when it comes to dining at the table service restaurants in Walt Disney World.
While it's not impossible to snag a last-minute dining reservations, we have actually been lucky in the past with this, or to join up the walk-up wait list at a restaurant you want to dine in on the day of your visit. If you really have your heart set on dining at a specific restaurant, it's really in your best interest to book that as far in advance as possible. Dining reservations open up 60 days prior to your desired dining date, and the more in-demand restaurants definitely do book up at 60 days, so it's definitely worth keeping your 60-day window in mind and making your reservations as soon as you can. We'll often get asked if it's really necessary to book that far in advance, and the answer is 100% every single time, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Like a friend of mine went on a trip late last year and didn't make reservations until much closer to his arrival date. And when they were looking into restaurants as their trip was getting closer, his family wanted to dine at specific places, but of course reservations were full, right? Which was disappointing. So don't let that be you.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, an important thing to keep in mind for the 60-day reservation window is that if you're staying in a Walt Disney World resort during your trip, when you reach 60 days before your check-in day, you'll be able to book dining for all of your stay for up to 10 days. So to put that into context, like for a concrete example, if you were staying at a Disney resort for 7 nights, at 60 days before check-in, you'd be able to book dining for that first night and the other 7 nights as well. Basically all those nights for up to 10 nights if you were staying for that long. This is a huge advantage because for those restaurants that are hard to book, like Cinderella's Royal Table, Storybook Dining at Artist Point, Topolino's Space 220, among others, you have a much better chance of booking the date and time you want when you're booking several days into your reservation window. So for example, if you were booking Storybook Dining for the 6th night of your stay, you're actually booking 66 days in advance. And the only people with access to that date are people whose vacations also coincide with yours. So the competition is way less significant than fighting for the remaining reservations when the general 60-day window opens. If you plan on making 1 or more dining reservations for more in-demand dining locations, you can plainly see that staying on property can be a huge leg up.
Yes, I agree. We have always done the 60-day in advance reservation.
Yep.
It can be almost stressful in the moment because you really want to get the time you want, but it's worked out for us every single time.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. We've lucked out, and it's preparation essentially. And it's booking those more in-demand restaurants further later, into your trip.
We always have a list of exactly what we're going for, the time we want to go for, and we kind of work as a team and we get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, it's important to note that not all restaurants will book up exactly at 60 days. Some of the less popular options will hang around much longer. You'll also see available reservations for those popular dining locations here and there, but the reservation times are going to be the less popular times. Obviously, for lunch, everything between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., they're going to book up first.
Yep.
And for dinner, times between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. are going to be the most popular. And if you're okay with eating at off-peak times, like a late lunch or an early dinner or a late dinner, like 8 o'clock or later, those times will be available for longer. So you may find success if you're flexible with your dining times. If you're adults only, it's so much easier to do. Kids can seriously get cranky when they're hungry, and it can be a lot harder to push back their meal times than when you would normally eat when you're at home.
Yep.
So if you're going to do that, we actually suggest snacks to keep the little satiated between the meal periods.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's hard to ask, like, you know, a child that's like 5 or younger to dine later than they're used to, right? So just something to keep in mind there. But again, like those later, you know, dinner times or earlier supper times, later lunches, they're going to hang around much longer. So you might find success there if you weren't able to snag the time you wanted. Mm-hmm. Also, something to keep in mind is that the vast majority of the table service dining locations have a 2-hour cancellation policy. So if you cancel within that 2-hour period, you'll be charged $10 per person on the reservation, which for a party of 4 is not pleasant, right? Even a party of 1. Okay, you don't want to have to pay. No,
you don't
want to
have to pay for no reason, really.
So this is much more gracious than it used to be. So the cancellation window actually used to be 24 hours, which was kind of restrictive, and it changed like a year ago or so. Mm-hmm. You know, the reality is that plans change. Reservations you made 60 days ago may not seem appealing after a long day in the parks, or you snacked a little too much and you're not feeling hungry for a full meal, right? Yep. So, you know, you change plans and that's okay. So there's a ton of reasons why you may want to adjust your dining plans, and the 2-hour cancellation window gives you that flexibility to be able to do that, right? Some restaurants like Cinderella's Royal Table still do have a 24-hour cancellation policy, but these are few and far between, and it'll give you a heads up when you're making your reservation.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now that the basics are covered, let's get into our picks for the must-try restaurants at each park, and we're going to kick things off with Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom has a lukewarm reputation when it comes to dining options, but nobody can deny that some of the most iconic dining locations in all of Disney World are in Magic Kingdom. It's the flagship park, the most visited by far, so it would make sense that Disney would want really coveted dining experiences in this park.
Yeah, agreed 100%. So for Magic Kingdom, if you want to dine with the princesses inside of Cinderella Castle, then you'll want to make reservations at Cinderella's Royal Table. So this is one of the harder reservations to get in Walt Disney World. So if you'd like to dine here, we strongly suggest to make an advanced dining reservations at 60 days. And again, if you can push that into your resort stay, so like 60 plus 5 or something like that, you'll get more success, right? So this is a character dining experience and a great way to meet several princesses without having to wait in line. So the price is not cheap. To dine at the castle and to have access to these meet and greets, it's going to set you back $84 for adults and $49 per child for lunch and dinner. You can also have breakfast here that'll be slightly less expensive at $69 per adult and $42 per child, right? But still
expensive.
Yeah, 100%, right? So quick note as well, you pay for your meal when you make your reservation here, which includes an 18% gratuity, and the cancellation window, like we said, is 24 hours, not 2 hours. And the penalty, you guessed it, the cost of your meal. So this is not a reservations that you want to miss or cancel within that 24 hours. It is not cheap, so it's not necessarily something you need to do more than once. Having said that, if this is your once-in-a-lifetime trip or you don't come very often and you've never experienced it, it's a really special dining experience, especially if you have a little princess in your party. So on the day of your reservations, here's what you can expect. You'll check in with the cast member at the base of the castle near the back. Once you're called in, you'll be brought into the lobby, and here there's a photo pass photographer with the meet and greet with Cinderella. She actually doesn't come around at your table. You'll typically meet with her before you go up to your table, like in the lobby, downstairs essentially. Depending on the timing of when you're called, this can be a bit of a wait, so you won't necessarily be seated at the time of your reservations. It could be a bit of a delay there, so it's something to keep in mind. You can't be in a rush when you're dining here.
No, you cannot.
Once you've taken your photo, your party will be called and you'll go up the stairs and be brought to your table. The dining room is large with high ceilings and stone kind of accents and walls that legit look like you're inside a castle. There's not really a bad seat in the house, but some are definitely better than others. So there's raised tables kind of all around the outside walls. And then down a few steps, there's a bowl with tables that are kind of more in the middle of the action. The best tables, in our opinion, are along the windows that overlook the front of the castle and into the hub and onto Main Street.
Yes.
The menu is fixed price. Like we said, you'll be handed a menu and be able to choose an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. So the cost of your meals comes with standard Coke products offerings. Beer, wine, or specialty drinks are an added cost. The appetizers include your choice of soup, salad, braised beef, or shrimp. The entrees include lamb chops, braised beef, a filet mignon, seasonal fish options, chicken, and plant-based options. For dessert, there's a cheesecake. The clock strikes 12, which is a chocolate ganache tart with salted caramel coffee mousse. Very photo-worthy. And there's also a plant-based meringue option. That's the one that you tried last time, right? And it was just okay.
It was just okay, yeah.
But it has berries mousse, and if you like that, you might like this. On the kids menu, the appetizers include a choice of apple, cheese, and grapes or salad. Entrees are fish, steak, chicken strips, or mac and cheese with 2 sides. So you can have veggies, rice, pilaf, mashed potatoes, and corn on the cob. You can ask for fries. You won't see it on the menu.
But they do have them, yes.
But they do have them, and they'll bring them. Yeah, 100%. Some people don't like the food here, and in our opinion, it probably has more to do that like it's overpriced in a sense, right? So the food here is good, but is it, $84 per person good?
It's
not
hard
necessarily.
To look past that, yeah.
100%, right? You're paying for the experience of eating in the castle, right?
Yeah.
So manage your expectations in that sense, if that makes sense.
That's a great piece of advice, yeah. Because the food is actually good here. It's tasty.
Yep.
Our kids enjoyed the kids' meal options, but you're right. It's hard to look past the $84.
Yeah, 100%. The princesses will come around during your dining experience to interact with the guests at your table. They'll take photos, sign autographs as well if you ask. One quick thing about interacting with characters. So they're individuals, right? Like the characters themselves. So some have more of a gift for kind of materializing conversation with you and, your kids or whatnot. So don't be afraid to talk and ask questions, right? It makes them, like the meet and greets, less awkward, right? Yeah. So ask them questions pertinent to their story, their outfits, or similar things. They're really good at engaging in spontaneous conversation for the most part. It's quintessential Disney to dine in the castle with the princesses, and definitely worth experiencing at least one, in our opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Like on that note too, I found Merida was really good this last time.
Oh yeah, she was awesome.
She was great in character.
Super, super bubbly and like really engaged. Yeah.
Next up on our list is Be Our Guest. This is another iconic dining location in Magic Kingdom, and it's also pretty popular. It's not quite as hard to get a reservation here as it is at Cinderella's Royal Table, but we still recommend making your dining reservations at the 60-day mark for this one as well. This restaurant is located at the back of Fantasyland, in behind Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and to the left of Gaston's Tavern. It's located in the Beast Castle, which is quite small. It's just kind of in the background there.
Yep.
But it's meant to be as it's made to look, as it's far away, and Imagineers used forced perspective to make it look that way as well. This is also a fixed price dining experience and is also very expensive. Yep. It'll set you back $70 per adult and $41 for children for lunch and dinner. There is no breakfast here. When your reservation comes up, you'll check in with the cast members, and when your party is called, you'll be brought into one of the 3 dining rooms inside the restaurant. There's the Grand Ballroom, which is in the main dining room that you're going to walk into initially. It has high ceilings and cream colors everywhere. Then there's the West Wing, which is the Beast Study. There are dark accents in this room, and you're going to find the Enchanted Rose in the dining room. And finally, there's the Rose Gallery with bright artwork and figures of Belle and the Beast. If you're not seated in the dining room you'd like to be, don't despair. You are allowed to walk around and check out the other dining rooms during your dining experience. And we actually suggest you do this. There's some fun details throughout the space that are worth checking out, especially if you are a Beauty and the Beast fan, as I am.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Like we said, this is another fixed price menu location, and while the prices again are pretty steep, we actually really like the food here. You get to choose an appetizer, an entree, and dessert, just like Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yep.
So for the appetizers, they have a really good French onion soup.
It was good,
very tasty.
Yep.
Solid choice for your appetizer. They also have a mixed green salad, tuna tartare, escargot, and sweet corn bisque, which I would have tried that one too, but the French onion soup is excellent.
Yep.
For entrees, they have the pork tenderloin, beef short rib, trout, a plant-based pan-roasted squash, filet mignon, and a chicken option. We've had the short rib and the filet mignon, and both were really good. For dessert, they have the trio, or the vanilla cake with lemon curd. And the trio comes with the gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe me. Ask the dishes.
You can't say that, the gray stuff, and not add that, right? Sorry, but it's just...
It goes hand in hand.
It is what it is, yeah.
On the kids menu, there's going to be salad, cheese, and fruit, or fresh fruit bowl for appetizers. And for their entree, there's chicken breast, steak, shrimp, chicken strips, or mac and cheese. For sides, there's squash, fries, green beans, rice, or sweet potatoes. And for the kids' desserts, they have the trio option, or fresh fruit with yogurt dip. Overall, we really like the food here. Like we said, some people again say it's overpriced, and we completely don't disagree. Yep. It is overpriced. It's expensive, but again, you're paying for the experience of dining in the Beast Castle.
Yeah, absolutely. An important note here, this isn't a character meal,
yes,
right?
This is a huge point.
Yeah, so you're not like you will see Beast, but he's not going to come and like interact with you at your table. He'll walk around the dining room and you'll be able to spot him and take photos. But again, he's not going to stop at each table individually. Okay.
And Belle will not be there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So this differs from other character dining experience. So something to keep in mind there. Some people have been disappointed with that. So if you're aware of it going in, it'll save you from the disappointment and maybe you'll decide it's not worth it. Either way, great experience in our opinion. And again, it can definitely be worth it for you and your party.
Yeah, I agree.
The next dining location is over in Adventureland and it's Jungle Navigation Company Limited, Skipper Canteen, or more commonly shortened to Skipper Canteen. Okay, so this location is on your right when you're entering Adventureland from the hub, just past Sunshine Tree Terrace and across from Swiss Family Treehouse. Reservations for this place are not overly difficult to come by, but if you really want to eat here, we'd still recommend booking it at 60 days when your window opens up. I feel like it's gained popularity in the last couple of years with the release of the Jungle Cruise movie with Dwayne Johnson, right? It is not a fixed price meal, right? You'll order a la carte items as you please. Prices here are very reasonable by Disney table service standards. So appetizers range from $10 to $16, entrees from $23 to $38, and desserts are all $9. The dining room and the whole restaurant is themed to the Jungle Cruise, and the interior has exposed beams, an upper banister that could look like the second level of a small cruise ship, and the walls are lined with like props and artwork. Your waiters are skippers and are going to come at you with puns, you know, good-natured ribbing and good-natured humor, right? So
they're funny.
Yeah, 100%. We love the atmosphere here, and we've always had great service. It's a fun place to eat with your whole party. Aside from the atmosphere, the food is also very good. So they have several appetizers like fried rice, salad, falafel, soup, and of note, the Orinoco Ida's cachapas. Sorry if I'm butchering that. They're corn pancakes with braised pork, roasted corn, Fresno pepper salsa, and avocado cream. They also have the pão de queijo, or Brazilian cheese bread, right? So that's not on the menu, but they will bring it upon request. It's like a secret menu option, essentially. For entrees, they have steak, chicken, curried veggie stew, pork, fish, lamb chops, noodle bowls. We really like the chicken dish here. It's called the Tastes Like Chickens because it is, and it's crispy fried chicken with chili soy glaze, jasmine rice, and pickled veggie sauce.
Yeah,
so
the glaze was delicious.
Super good. Yeah. For dessert, they have a coconut bar with pineapple compote and vanilla cream, panna cotta with mango lime sorbet and fruit, and the kungaloosh with the mango float. The kungaloosh is the highlight here. So it's a chocolate cake with caramelized banana and cashew caramel ice cream. It's delicious. For kids, they have a veggies appetizer or salad. For entrees, there's coconut curry, steak, mac and cheese, or crispy chicken. And there is some accessible side options like mac and cheese and whatnot.
They probably have fries too.
Yeah, 100% they do, yeah. For dessert, they have a volcano cake or chocolate-covered banana pieces. Overall, this is a great, reasonably priced option in Magic Kingdom with stellar menu options. Fun atmosphere, hilarious cast members. We definitely recommend this one.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to go back there again.
Yeah, 100%. On our next trip, I think so, yeah.
Next up, let's head into Hollywood Studios. While there aren't as many dining options here, there are a few restaurants worth mentioning and that you should consider experiencing during your Hollywood Studios day. Some people will tell you that Hollywood Studios is a half-day park, so you may not want to make dining reservations if you won't be here all day, but realistically, you could have a super efficient start to your day and feel like you've done everything you want to do and call it a park day. Or you certainly can make a full day of it. That's completely up to you and your party and how you'll structure your day.
Yep.
So the first one on our list for Hollywood Studios is Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. This restaurant is located in Toy Story Land, and it's the first on your right when you're coming in behind Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, or it's the last thing on your left when you're entering from Galaxy's Edge. This is still a relatively new restaurant as it opened in March of 2023.
Yep.
It was obviously very popular at that time. As guests are experiencing it for the first time, everybody gets excited for new restaurants. So we definitely suggest booking this one when your 60-day window opens up as well. This is a fixed price meal and it is served family style. So the dishes are brought to you to your table to share among your party. And actually, I really like this idea. I thought it was great.
Yep, agreed.
Prices here are not super high, but aren't cheap either. They are $45 per adult and $25 per child. The dining room is themed to Toy Story and everything is large because you are shrunken down to the size of one of Andy's toys. It's bright and colorful and the decor is really well done in the space. It's not unlike the decor you're going to see in the queue for Toy Story Mania, but I'd say it's even more immersive actually.
Yeah, agreed. Everything
is blown up in size. The chairs, the tables, the different colors, it's all great. All a lot of fun. We really like it in there. Like we said, the food here is served family style, and you're going to start with cheddar biscuits with sweet pepper jelly, which we actually really like. They were super tasty.
They were really good.
The cheddar biscuits were really good. Our kids like those ones. You're also going to be brought a tomato salad and a watermelon salad. Both are super tasty. They both tasted very fresh. We enjoyed those as well. We weren't sure about the watermelon salad, but the kids actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for the kids. Yeah, 100%.
So then you're going to be brought a meat or plant-based platter, your choice. The meat platter includes ribs, brisket, sausage, chicken, and beans. The meat is good here, and our kids and us and we as adults really enjoyed it. It's not the best barbecue on property, but it's good. You used to be able to choose 4 out of 8 sides, I believe, but then they've started to reduce the amount of sides and no longer give you that choice. They just bring you all of them. So the potato barrels, veggie slaw, mac and cheese, baked beans, and corn on the cob. And for dessert, they have Bo's lemon and blueberry cheesecake, chocolate silk pie, apple pie, and peach strawberry pie. These come in these tiny little jars, and you can certainly have more than one. They're not very big.
Yeah, 100%. Like when we were there, they actually brought us each a jar.
Mm-hmm.
Like so there was like 4 of each of the jars,
Yes.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
we had like a ton of little desserts, but
Yeah.
they're really small, so you can have more than one.
Yeah, and they're really good too.
Yeah.
And they also have the Forky cupcakes, which our kids loved. Your meal comes with classic fountain drink options, and any specialty drinks are an added-on cost. Overall, the food is very good here. We definitely enjoyed it. But again, what really makes the meal is the experience. This space is so immersive, and if you've got Toy Story fans in your party, you should definitely prioritize this reservation. It is a really cute restaurant. They do other small touches here, like when Andy comes around, everybody, including the waitstaff, pauses, and everybody has to be quiet. It's great.
Yeah, 100%. It's really cute in there. It's like,
they did a good job.
The pops of color and everything looks big, like Lucy said, just like Toy Story Mania. So 100%, if you've got Toy Story fans in your party, they're going to love this.
It's a must.
Next up is Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. So this is located on the far side of Commissary Lane, closest to Star Tours, next to Baseline Tap House. So this has to be one of our favorite restaurants on all of Disney properties. So it's not fancy and the food isn't amazing, but the atmosphere is always exactly what we need. This spot is pretty busy despite popular belief, and it does book up like in advance, right? So again, if you know you're wanting to eat here, it's worth making your reservations when your window opens up. This is diner style food, right? So think burgers and milkshakes. But again, what makes this place is the theming. So the tables are shaped like cars and they're all angled towards the drive-in screen, which is playing old time sci-fi flicks. Think booth style seating, but all back to back. Some people are put off by this. So they do have more picnic style tables available as well. But we love the car booths, honestly. It's so original and really fun.
Especially when it's just the two of us, just sitting side by side in the quiet and the cool air conditioning room. It's perfect.
Yeah, 100%. The room itself is darkened and it's made to look like you're outside at night, right? So they blare the AC in there. It's relatively quiet because of the movie atmosphere. And again, this is one of the main reasons why we love it so much. It's cool, it's dark, and it's quiet. And on a busy, hot, sunny, and nonstop park day, this is usually the perfect contrast. And we always appreciate the cool, calm, and quiet for a meal, right? So the menu is a la carte. So order what you want here and prices are reasonable. On the menu for appetizers, you'll find onion rings, fried pickles, nachos, chicken wings, and Caesar salad, all ranging from $11 to $15. For entrees, they have a few different burger options, as well as a chicken salad sandwich, grilled chicken salad, and a few pasta options. Prices are in the $19 to $30 range. So we've only ever tried the burgers here, and they're definitely decent. So for dessert, they have a sundae, cheesecakes, fruit salad, and a cookie shake, all under $10. The milkshakes here are actually really good. We had the chocolate milkshake.
We did.
Yeah, super tasty.
Delicious, yeah.
For kids, they have the standard options, right? So mac and cheese burgers, chicken bites, and a chicken skewer as a healthier option. So we love this place. Great theming, no frills menu, reasonable prices. This is 100% worth your time and dollars, in our opinion.
Yeah, 100% one of my favorite places on all Disney property. Hands down.
Agreed.
Next, we're heading over to the Hollywood Brown Derby. This is a signature restaurant, and it's located in the hub of the park, to the right of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway when you're facing it. Or if you're walking in from the main entrance, it's going to be on your right, just past the turnoff to Sunset Boulevard. It's not overly difficult to get reservations here, and joining the walk-up waitlist is definitely an option for this one as well. So being a signature restaurant, it is more expensive, but it is an a la carte menu, so your mileage will vary depending on what you're going to order. The dining room has wood paneling throughout, and it's kind of a replica of the original Brown Derby in Hollywood, California. The walls are lined with portraits, and the whole space is reminiscent of the 30s and 40s in Hollywood. The menu features elevated American cuisine, so you're going to find fancier options if you're so inclined. For appetizers, there's soup, crab, a stone fruit burrata, charcuterie board, shrimp cocktail, escargot, or chorizo mushroom croquettes. These prices here are going to range between $13 and $23. And for the entrees, they have the filet mignon, salmon, chicken, the famous Cobb salad. We both tried it. It's really tasty.
Yeah, 100%.
The dressing on it is delicious.
Yep.
They also have pork, halibut, and lamb. Entrees are going to range from the prices of $25 to $49. And for desserts, they have the Brown Derby original grapefruit cake, creme brulee, panna cotta, orange hazelnut chocolate cake, or the classic chocolate cake, just very classic.
Yep.
Prices will range around $14 for the desserts.
Yep.
And for the kids, they have grilled fish, chicken or steak, a hot dog, or mac and cheese. So those are actually really good options for kids. Lots of variety there. Yeah. There are definitely some good options on this menu, like we said. And if you're looking for a more elevated dining experience in this park, this could actually be the place for you. So of note here, they do have the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge that does not require advanced dining reservations. And it also has many of the same menu options from the main restaurant. So you can still get that Cobb salad and the grapefruit cake at the lounge. So definitely something to keep in mind there.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. The lounge is definitely a good option. All right. Next, we're heading into Animal Kingdom. This park is sneaky when it comes to good food. Okay. So this is probably not the park you associate with good food, right? But it's probably the one that's also most overlooked in general. And people assume that the dining here isn't great. But honestly, we've had some really good food here. And not only on the table service side, but on the quick service side as well.
Agreed.
Okay. So foodies unite. Animal Kingdom should not be overlooked.
It should not be overlooked on any means whatsoever.
100%.
It is
an
a
awesome
great
park.
park.
Agreed. So first up, we're heading to Yak and Yeti. So this restaurant is located in the Asia section of the park. When you enter Asia to the right of the Tree of Life, it's the first building on your right on the opposite side of the walkway. This is one of the more popular dining locations in the park, and reservations aren't difficult to get, but you should still make them if you know you're going to want to dine here, right? So the theming at this restaurant fits perfectly with the land it's in. The restaurant has influences from Nepal and other Southeast Asian artifacts and decor elements. The space is dark with props and interesting decor lining the walls. The tables have this kind of regal style chairs, and there's different dining rooms with like slightly different theming. The space is really well done, and like we said, it fits in with the land perfectly, being not too far from Expedition Everest. So the menu is pan-Asian for the most part, and it is a la carte options. Prices here are not too bad, reasonable by Disney standards, and they do have good options on the menu that differ from your usual theme park offerings. So for appetizers, they have calamari, pot stickers, wok fried green beans, pork egg rolls, firecracker shrimp. We've had the shrimp and it was tasty. They had a good kind of spicy sauce.
It was very good.
They also have the ahi tuna nachos here that are a solid option, and lots of people come here just for those. They also have several soups and salad, lo mein noodle bowls with your choice of protein. They have salmon, duck, chicken, tikka masala, Korean beef, sweet and sour chicken, among many, many other options. They actually have a big menu.
Yeah, they
here.
do. Yeah.
Prices range from $22 to $38 for entrees, and appetizers are all $15 or less. So for dessert, they have fried wontons with like cream cheese, vanilla ice cream, and honey vanilla drizzle, mango pie, pineapple upside down cake, and cheesecake, all in that $13 range. They have a ton of options on the kids menu as well. So think noodles, fried rice, teriyaki, and more accessible options as well, like corn dogs, mac and cheese, and chicken tenders. This is a good option in this park, especially if you're a little tired of eating those more kind of standard theme park foods like burgers and whatnot.
I'm going to say it again. I think we have to revisit this one again soon.
Agreed. It's been a minute. Yep.
So the next one on our list is we're going to head over to Tiffin's, which is the signature dining location in the park. This restaurant is located to the left of the Tree of Life, and it's the last building on your right before you take the bridge into Pandora. This restaurant is very nice, and the decor highlights adventure and exploration. It also showcases the Imagineers and the work that went into the making of Disney's Animal Kingdom. The walls are lined with beautiful artwork and the lighting to highlight these elements, and there are some beautifully themed banners hanging from the ceilings in the center of the space. It's quite nice in there.
Yep.
So being that it's a signature dining experience, it is more expensive, but again, it's a la carte, so your mileage will vary here. They do have a more varied menu as well, which we really appreciate. So for appetizers, they have pork belly, lobster mac and cheese, crispy cauliflower, charcuterie, charred octopus, barbecue mushroom bao buns, a couple of salad options, but the star is the bread service here.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. So it comes with different breads and sauces. It's not as extensive or as good as the bread service at Sanaa over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, in our opinion, but still delicious and still a good option.
I completely agree with that. I really like the variety on the appetizer menu here.
Agreed.
So prices for the appetizers are between $13 and $21. And for the entrees, they have a burger, shrimp and grits, surf and turf, Szechuan noodles, butter chicken, Waxacan pork duo, tamarind short rib, and a couple of fish options. Prices here are ranging between $28 and $51. And for dessert, they have a chocolate bar, mango sticky rice, or creme brulee, all around $15. For the kids menu, it's not the most accessible of options, so they have shrimp, chicken, and meatballs, but there is mac and cheese as well. Now, just like Hollywood Brown Derby, there is a lounge attached to the restaurant that's called the Nomad Lounge. We love this lounge.
Yeah, agreed.
It is a must stop for us every single time we're in Animal Kingdom. This is the worst kept secret in the park.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The lounge is like, it's more popular than Tiffin's, let's be real. Yep.
You're completely right with that. Nomad Lounge doesn't take reservations, but the walk-up waitlist fills up constantly, and it can be really hard to get a seat here, especially on busy days. But you can order menu items from Tiffin's, such as the bread service here, and they have really tasty cocktails. The churros are really good as well.
Yep.
So you can't go wrong with this option. Good food, drinks all the way.
Yeah, 100%. We usually come here, sit down, have some churros and a couple of cocktails.
Oh, we like to sit kind of on their patio.
Yeah,
there,
the patio for sure. Again, yeah, exactly. Right along the water. It's just so serene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like all the greenery and you can kind of already hear the
yeah.
sounds of Pandora. It's just, yeah, it's a great place to stop for a beat.
Yeah.
To wrap up Animal Kingdom, we're heading to Tusker House. So this restaurant is in the Africa section of the park, and it's on your left when you enter from Discovery Island, not far from the Festival of the Lion King. This is a character dining experience that offers a buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here you'll get to meet and greet with Donald, Goofy, Mickey, wearing their kind of safari-style outfits. This is a proper character meal, right? So not like Be Our Guest. You'll actually get to interact with the characters at your table. Prices for the buffet are $62 for adults and $40 for children for lunch and dinner, and $47 for adults and $30 per child for breakfast. No denying that this is steep pricing, but it is a character meal and it is a buffet. So if you come in super hungry, you can feel like you're getting your money's worth, right?
I agree.
So for food here, they have a ton of options for lunch and dinner. They have adventurous options and more accessible options as well. So you can eat what you want, right? Even pickier eaters will be able to find something to eat here. So having said that, they get the most bang for your buck. A more adventurous palate would be nice. That's why we recommend the breakfast dining experience here. So it's less expensive. You'll still get to meet the characters, and it's more standard fare for breakfast, which will appeal to a broader audience of guests.
Yeah, like think your pancakes, bacon, eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Either way, it's a solid character dining experience in this park.
I agree. All right. And last but certainly not least, we are heading into the park that's most associated with food and foodies in general, and that's Epcot. Now, caveat here, we don't necessarily recommend making dining reservations in Epcot because there's so much going on with the food booths and the World Showcase. But there are some solid table service dining experiences in this park, so let's get into them.
Yeah, 100%.
We talked about Space 220 a couple episodes ago because we were here on our last trip just a couple of weeks ago. So this restaurant is located in the World Discovery in between Test Track and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's to the left of Spaceship Earth when you enter in from the front entrance. This is another newer restaurant. It opened in 2021. It's still really popular and reservations are harder to come by. So you should definitely be booking this restaurant when your 60-day dining reservation window opens up.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's very popular.
Yep.
We're not joking about
Still,
that.
yeah.
This restaurant is a fixed price menu and it's not cheap by any means. It is $79 per adult and $35 for kids for dinner and $55 for adults and $29 for kids for lunch. The theming of this restaurant is out of this world, pun intended.
Yeah.
They knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah.
So when you check into your reservations, you're going to be taken to the lobby to wait for the elevator that will take you from Epcot to the Centauri space station, which is 220 miles above Earth, hence the restaurant's name.
Yeah, exactly.
Your party will be given a pass for the space station and you'll board the elevator. So the elevator has a screen in the middle of the elevator on top and at the bottom that looks like Earth is shrinking into the distance and the spaceship is approaching above. We are not doing this justice here. It is so cool. Our kids think they're going up in space.
100%.
It's adorable. We love it. So when you get to the space station, you're going to hand your ticket over to the host and you're going to be escorted to your table. The whole restaurant is darker and there are large screens that line the far wall as though you are looking out into space from these giant windows. There are booths that line this wall and these are by far the best seats in the house. On our last trip, this is where we sat. We completely agree. Best seats in the house. But having said that, you can see these windows from anywhere in the restaurant. So it's not like you're completely missing out if you're not in these booths. There's pretty much not a bad seat, really.
Yeah, agreed.
So like we said, this is a fixed menu. So you're going to pick an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. So for appetizers, they have a watermelon salad, calamari, tempura cauliflower, tuna tartare, Caesar salad, beet salad, shrimp tacos, or scallop risotto. And for entrees, they have short rib, pork chop, chicken, swordfish, salmon, pad thai, and filet mignon. The short rib and filet mignon are definitely good options. We've had both. We really enjoyed them. Very solid choices.
Agreed.
For dessert, they've got carrot cake, chocolate cake, cheesecake, cream cheese mousse, and a honey cake. We had the honey cake and the chocolate cheesecake this last time, and they were both really good.
Yeah, 100%.
Very tasty. So for the kids, they have accessible appies like salad, fruit cups, veggies, and cheese. And for the entree, they had mac and cheese, burgers, spaghetti, chicken, beef, among others. For dessert, they are offered sorbet, a cupcake, or a chocolate dome. And overall, this is a phenomenal dining experience. It gets mixed reviews, and we can't actually figure out why.
Still to this day, we still don't understand. Like, the food is super good, but the experience is unreal. Like, if you've never been, it's 100% worth your time because it's just so well done. Like it's so well executed.
Absolutely. We've been there 3 times now, and each time the food is great. The experience is awesome. And yes, it is expensive, but it is worth it on all fronts, in our opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
Again, definitely worth your time and dollars in our opinion.
Our son specifically requested this restaurant when we were planning our trip. Like he loved it so much last time. And again, it was another great experience. So I can't say that we won't go again. Like it's good.
Yeah.
Heading into the World Showcase now, we're going to Via Napoli. So this is located in the Italy Pavilion, tucked all the way at the back. This is an Italian restaurant with an emphasis on delicious pizza. It is a popular location, so again, book at 60 days if you know you really want to eat here. Having said that, you can have a really quick meal here, and the turnover rate is pretty high. The dining room is huge, right? Massive, with lots of seating. So we have had success doing the walk-up wait list here, so keep that in mind if you have a last-minute hankering for pizza. The theming in this restaurant isn't much of anything, so you're coming here for the Neapolitan-style pizza, right? It's like that thin pizza. The dining room is large with a ton of seating, like we said, and the highlight of the space is the massive wood-burning ovens made to look like massive mouths, and they're named after the 3 active volcanoes in Italy, Mounts Etna, Stromboli, and Vesuvius. And these are actually imported, like the wood-burning ovens are imported from Italy for this restaurant, so that's pretty cool. The menu here is reasonably priced as well by Disney Park standard, right? So keep that in mind. So this place is known for its pizza, right? So that's what we suggest you get here. There are other options on the menu as well. So they have appetizers like calamari, arancini, which is fried risotto balls, homemade focaccia, a large charcuterie board, and salads, among a few other options that all range in price from $8 to $23. The charcuterie is more expensive at $39. For entrees, they have pasta options, tortellini, spaghetti, carbonara, manicotti, fettuccine. They also have chicken parmesan, grilled beef, and a fish option. But the star of the show are the pizzas, right? So they range in size from individual to large to what they call mezzo metro. Individual pizzas are around that mid $20 range. The metro pizza are closer to $60. Individual pizzas will serve 1, obviously, right? A large will serve 2 to 3 people, and the metro 3 to 4. So fair warning, the pizzas look huge, right?
They do, yeah. When it comes to your table, you're like, oh no, like what have we done?
Exactly. We shared a large on our last one, and we're like, this is big, right? But it is Neapolitan style pizza, so they're super, super thin, right? You can literally fold them in halves or 4s.
You can eat more slices than you normally would.
100%, right? And then on the kids menu, they have a cheese pizza, spaghetti, or chicken tenders. So we've eaten here a few times. It's consistently good. One of our favorites around the World Showcase.
Absolutely. And one thing to note too is that if you order a large, and I do believe the metro size one, you can do like half cheese and then half like a meat lovers one. So it's kind of nice that you can do the 2 options then.
Yeah, you can mix and match, right? It doesn't all have to be cheese or all meat lovers, right? You can definitely get different flavors. Yeah.
So still in the World Showcase, but down in Mexico now, we're heading to La Hacienda de San Angel. This is not the restaurant in the pyramid. That's important to note. It's the restaurant across the walkway that overlooks the World Showcase Lagoon. This is the better of the 2 restaurants when it comes to food, in our opinion. This location serves an a la carte menu of delicious Mexican eats. The restaurant itself isn't overly themed, but it is nice in there, and it's a great location along the water. It's not overly difficult to get a reservation here, and we have had success scoring a last-minute reservation in the past as well.
Yep.
We've never done the walk-up wait list here, but there is a walk-up wait list, and we are constantly seeing people walking up, so it's definitely a good option as well.
Yep.
The dining room features a mix of table and booth seating. The menu is reasonable in price as well and priced well for what you're going to get.
Yeah, agreed 100%. So for appetizers, there's the guacamole, flautas, totopos, which is their chips with cheese and salsa.
Delicious.
Yeah, solid option. We get it every time. The queso fundido is also really good, which is melted cheese with chorizo, peppers, onions, and flour tortillas.
That one, that's a good one too.
Also a good option, right? So there's a few other options there that range between $8 and $16. So on the menu, you have varied options that are expensive to more reasonable. So for entrees, they have the pollo poblano, alambre de res, which is probably our favorite dish. Yeah,
so delicious.
We get it every time, actually. So it's
I'm
seared,
craving it now.
Yeah, 100%. It's seared tenderloin with bacon, poblano, bell peppers, onions, Monterey Jack cheese, and salsa verde, served with flour tortillas and rice. So it's so good. They also have tacos, chile relleno, cochinita pibil, which is braised pork over black beans, pickled onions, cotija cheese, crema mexicana with corn tortillas and rice. Prices range from $29 to $36, and they have a specialty margarita menu here as well, which is definitely worth a try. We recommend the avocado margarita. It's green and it looks off-putting, but it's delicious.
I was actually surprised when you ordered it,
Yep.
but so I said, okay, he's being adventurous, and it was actually really good.
We loved it. It was so good. Yeah.
So it's hard to narrow down just 3 restaurants at Epcot because, again, they have so many dining options and experiences overall when you factor in the World Showcase and everything that's going on there at any given time.
Yep.
Now, there are other really good dining options all over the parks, but this is a good starting point and should give you an idea of what's available in terms of table service options in each park and if these restaurants are something that you and your party would be interested in.
Yep. A couple of other things to keep in mind as well is we don't necessarily recommend a table service meal every day.
Yep.
It can get really expensive really quickly, and it does take away from park time because you're committing at least an hour, if not more, every single time.
That's true.
So a more sensible approach is probably a mix of table service and counter service restaurants. And of course, like we say, you can always bring in snacks. And if you're staying in a room with a kitchen or an Airbnb, you can always cook meals to help offset your dining costs.
Absolutely. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us today to talk Disney dining.
If you haven't already, find us on Instagram and TikTok at Let's Go.to Disney. We're also on Facebook, Let's Go to Disney.
Also, we would love if you could subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It would be greatly appreciated. This helps us reach more listeners, and we love helping people have great trips.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.